Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Karen Logic. You can only be fined for parking in a handicap spot if someone is already parked there. Thank you, OP, for taking us on this roller coaster of a story. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. My mother is a mega Karen. This happened in 2004 when I was 14. We just moved from Australia to New Zealand. The town had a population of around 12,000 people, which was a big step up from the town we moved from, around 2,000 people. It seemed like my mom's entitlement got worse by having an extra 10,000 people for her to annoy. Within a month, my sister and I had settled into our new schools, and Mother Dearest found her preferred/cheapest grocery store to shop at. I should mention that my mom is not disabled. But did that stop her from parking in the disabled parking spot? Nope. The first month went fine until my mother got lazy. Whenever we went grocery shopping, she would always complain, while walking towards the entrance, that there was never anyone parked in the disabled parking spot, and she would say things like, "I don't see why I'm not allowed to park there, and there's nobody in this damn town that needs it anyway." The last comment was total BS on her part, as there was a paraplegic who lived in the town, which she knew about, and regardless, those spaces are for disabled people, not her. Then one day, me and my sister were in the car while Mom was driving to the grocery store. We usually parked close to the front door, but to the side there were usually a few spare parking spots. I was expecting her to stop there, but she didn't. Instead, she drove all the way to the front and parked in the disabled parking spot. Me: "Mom, this is disabled parking. You can't park here." Mom: "Of course I can. This spot is vacant." Me: "It's illegal for you to park here. You'll get a fine." Mom: "No, I won't. I have the right to park here if there's no disabled person parked here. I don't see any disabled person, do you?" Me: "Whatever, Mom, but you're gonna get a fine." I got out of the car and walked across the street to the park. I didn't want to be seen with my mom, but I wanted to keep an eye out for the parking officer or police person who I knew would come. Even in a small town, the police were very diligent about rule breakers, and sure enough, 10 minutes later, I saw a policeman walk up to the car, check the license and lack of disabled sticker, and write a ticket that he placed on her windscreen. I sent Mother Dearest a text that I'd meet her at the petrol station when she was done. I didn't want to be seen getting into her car, but I made sure to hang around so I could see her reaction when she saw the fine. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, I saw my mom come out of the store, see the ticket, and she flipped out. She started cursing and stomping her feet on the ground like a child that lost their toy. Only in this case, it was a fine of $80. I chuckled to myself as I walked to the petrol station a few blocks over. I got there a few minutes before my mom did, and I could see the anger on her face as she got out of the car, slammed it, and started filling up her tank. Me, faking concern: "What's wrong, Mom?" Mom: "You shut your mouth." I smiled and got into the car. When we got home, my mom got straight on the phone to debate the parking fine. I overheard the call. Mom: Yeah, I got a fine for parking in an empty parking spot. There was nobody else parked there, but I had to park there because I have a bad leg and can't walk that far." What? "No, I don't have a sticker, but that doesn't matter." "No. Hold on. What? But no, disabled? No, but oh, you stupid bleepity bleep. I'm not paying this fine." And she hung up. About a month later, I'd assumed she'd paid the fine, but obviously not. She got a letter in the mail regarding an unpaid fine, which was now $100 due to their relayed payment. Mom went to the courthouse and paid it, but I didn't hear the end of it for 3 months after that, as she'd complain about it any chance she got, making out like she was the victim. I wish I could say that she learned her lesson, but she didn't. She parked there a few more times and, shock horror, got more fines. A Karen never learns. And our second story. Entitled mother tries to steal my laptop whilst I'm on shift. Cast: EM, entitled mom. EK, entitled kid, although the kid's quite nice and isn't a brat. So I'm a 19-year-old student who's just finished college last year and have a year off to do whatever I want. For me, this is spending time working in my local cafe. So I'm on my lunch break and I'm relaxing in a corner table with some chocolate cake and tea. Now, I'm on my laptop playing a game when EM and EK enter the cafe. EM looks like she's in her mid-40s and the EK looks about 7. So EM is ordering at the counter, being served by a friend. Let's call him Kieran. This is relevant later. I don't take any notice and continue playing my game. When they're done, they come and sit at the table next to me. My lunch break is just about to end, so I'm getting ready to go back on shift when EK notices my game. EK, Mommy, can I play that game? The EM then tells her kid that, yes, he can play on the game. She then gets up and walks over to me. EM, hi, I noticed you were playing a game on your laptop. The game, in case you're wondering, was Ark Survival Evolved. It looks interesting. Me, being the antisocial I am, just say, okay, and more or less ignore her. She then proceeds by saying, my son, EK, would really like to play that game, so maybe you could give that laptop to my kid for a while. At this point, she has this really friendly but not friendly look on her face, so I just say, ma'am, I'm just about to go back on shift and I need to pack up my things, including my computer. I'm sorry, but I have a pretty expensive computer that took me a while to save up for, and I hold it quite dear. The EK then says, don't worry, Mummy, it's his computer. Now I kind of have a soft spot for kids who are considerate and generally socially aware, so I sort of cave in. I end up setting up my laptop and loading up a game, not the one I was previously playing, and the kid seems happy. I say to the mother that I don't need my computer during shift and that her kid can play on it so long as she keeps an eye on it and makes sure it isn't damaged. Halfway through my shift, however, I see the EM pack up the laptop. I just assume she's going to give it back to me and leave, but she packs up the computer and attempts to leave with it. I hastily leave my place at the counter, apologizing to the customer currently ordering while saying I'll be right back and race after her. By the time I catch up with her, she's out the door and 10 feet down the pavement trying to unlock her car. For all Americans, we call sidewalks pavements. I then ask her what the hell she's doing, and she explains that her kid wants to keep the laptop. Now, I'm rather pissed at this point, so I say, ma'am, I bought that computer with my own money, and I don't intend on letting someone just take off with it. EM, well, it didn't look like you were doing much on it, so maybe it should go to someone who deserves it. My child is perfect and polite, so maybe he should have it, instead of some ungrateful teenager. You're too old to be playing games anyway. I then try and take back my laptop as she hasn't put it in a bag and is just clutching it under her arm. I manage to take it back, but she then proceeds to drop her bag, snatch the laptop back, punch me in the stomach, and start screaming, "Assault! This man assaulted me!" My friend Chris comes out of the cafe along with the manager and asks what's wrong. EM then says that I tried to steal the laptop off her and that I should be fired. Now, Chris is a dear friend of mine and actually helped me to save up for this laptop by finding me extra shifts to do and alerting me of minor jobs in the area for quick money. He then tells the lady that he knows for a fact that it isn't her computer and to give it back right away, else the police would get involved, and then, no joke, the lady bolts into her car. EK is already strapped into the back and drives off. Luckily, I managed to take a photo of her number plate and the police tracked her down. I get my laptop back, but not after I realized that she changed the password on it whilst in the cafe. The police managed to unlock it for me free of charge, and I realized that she is uninstalled, but luckily not completely deleted, so I managed to reinstall them, most of my games, except for the one that I let the kid play on, as well as changing literally everything on my PC. She went through my emails and deleted some important ones, deleted some important files, including a presentation that would have helped me get into Loughborough University. Side note, managed to recover that. Turns out there's a hard drive for a reason. And managed to access my PayPal. Luckily, she didn't manage to spend any of my money, which I'm relieved about as I'm saving up to go on holiday with my significant other. Edit. As so many people are asking and telling me to sue and stuff, the mother was fined £350, but I can choose to increase that number within the next 2 months, sentenced to 2 years of community service and lost custody of the child. The father apologized about his ex's actions and now looks after the child. Edit 2. Here in the UK, the police tend to press charges anyway. We aren't like the US where you have an option. So she would have gotten more punishment regardless. And our last story. I'm not letting the city put a nature trail through my property. We just bought a house this last March. It's an older home and had been vacant for the past 2 years. It's 5 bedrooms and 10 acres, which includes a cemetery from the late 1700s and early 1800s, inaccessible unless you go through our property. Word has gotten around recently about it, and it's become the talk of the town. Last week, City Council reached out to me about adding a nature trail through the cemetery that would loop around back to our state park. After talking with my husband, we decided against it for several different reasons. The biggest being we didn't want people lingering around our property, but also we don't trust others to respect the graves. My husband reached back out to them and politely declined. They called back a few times after to try and convince us otherwise. Yesterday, someone posted in my town's buy-sell-trade Facebook group saying we were denying them access to their family member's grave. After doing research, we found out that the person who posted the accusation was one of the council members' sister-in-law. A little more digging, we discovered that her great-great-aunt was buried there. We privately messaged her and asked her to take the post down. She refused, saying we were the bad guys in this situation. Since then, my husband and I have been receiving nasty messages from members of our community. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.